My journey on Hacking Lab as a student starts with a redemption link that I received from my professor who teaches the cybersecurity course I'm attending. This is how the redemption link looks like. When I follow the link, I'm asked to register a new account. In this case, I already have an account, and by clicking this button, I can gain access to the course. Let's dive in. As we can see, the course consists of 3 modules. Each of these modules may have theory blocks, quizzes, and practical cyber exercises. Let's check the first module. As we can see, the first module mainly contains instructions on setting up the environment that is required for doing the practical part of the course. The attack machine, which in this case is Kukarai penetration testing Linux, and so on. A typical theory block can be split into steps with embedded images and videos. Alright, let's get to the second module. The second module contains cyber exercises and quizzes. Cyber exercises are real applications vulnerable to certain cybersecurity weaknesses. Each of these cyber exercises allows me as a student to practice a certain type of cybersecurity vulnerability. In this specific course, as you can see, we have cyber exercises for practicing SQL injections, JWT vulnerabilities, XXE vulnerabilities, SSRF vulnerabilities, course-related cybersecurity weaknesses, and so on. These exercises have different levels of difficulty, all the way from novice to hard. Alright, let's check one of the cyber exercises. So this cyber exercise is made for practicing SQL injection attacks. This cyber exercise has an easy level. The grading will be based on the write-up that I as a student will need to submit upon solving the challenge. And this cyber exercise is available in the training mode, which means that I as a student will be presented with a list of steps that I need to perform in order to execute the attack. Alright, let's get to the description of the exercise. Here we can see that a typical description includes a short introduction, description of the resources available for the challenge, the goal of the exercise, and a couple of questions that we need to answer in our write-up. And also, since this specific exercise is running in the training mode, I as a student have an access to the comprehensive step-by-step solution of this exercise. Apart from the write-up grading mode, which is a manual grading mode that requires participation of the teacher, there are also other grading modes. One of such grading modes is flag-based grading, which turns cyber exercise into a CTF challenge where the student needs to find the flag and submit the flag to qualify for grading. For the flag grading mode, the submission is automatically checked by Hacking Lab platform, and the flags are unique for every single student, meaning that there is no sense in sharing the flag. It will only work for the user who found it. Alright, now let's launch the cyber exercise. After pressing the play button, we are presented with a link to a private instance of the vulnerable cyber exercise. In this case, our cyber exercise is a vulnerable internet shop, and for us to solve this cyber exercise, we need to find and exploit an SQL injection vulnerability. We can do that by following the step-by-step instruction. Let's rely on the help of the tutorial to solve this exercise. To speed up the demo, I will skip most of the steps and just copy the payload from one of the last steps. I will apply this payload in the login form of the vulnerable web application. Let's see if the exploitation has worked. If we go to the profile section, we can see that we are logged in as Bob now, as it was instructed in the step-by-step guide. Perfect. Let's get back to the platform. Let's stop the challenge and take a look at other cyber exercises that we have here. Let's maybe check one of the quizzes. These quizzes can have multiple choice questions, they can have single choice questions, and I as a student just need to submit my solution, and then I'm given the result. After I as a student finalize the quiz, my professor is notified about my submission. Now let's get back to the list of modules of this course and see what are exams like from the student perspective on Hacking Lab platform. Once we get into the exam module, we see the start button. Pressing the button starts the exam for me. As we can see, this exam has a limitation of 60 minutes and my time has just started. This specific exam contains one cyber exercise, but it could also have multiple cyber exercises, it could have theory blocks, it could have quizzes, and so on. If I'm done with the exam earlier, I can always finish it by pressing this button here. Alright. If you look at the exam, it's a typical cyber exercise. We have the description of this cyber exercise without steps in this case. And we have the play button. By pressing this button, we spin up a private instance of the vulnerable web application made for the examination. Now, as a student, I need to apply the knowledge I got throughout this course to break this application. The cybersecurity research behind solving this exam application is out of scope of this video, so I'm skipping this step and jumping straight to the exam result submission. Now I'm at the point when I have the flag. So let's submit it to the Hacking Lab platform. As you can see, in this case, the cyber exercise is designed to accept both flag and write-up. The flag helps my professor to make sure that I did execute the steps that are required for solving the challenge. And the write-up gives my professor a sneak peek into my thinking process. After submitting my solution, I as a student see my submission in the solution history of this cyber exercise. However, since the exam is not over yet, I do not know if my solution was correct. Once the exam is over, the Hacking Lab platform will automatically validate the flag that I submitted to the system, and my professor will check my write-up and assign a grade. Now, if I have any doubts regarding my previous solution, I can also submit a new solution. The submission accepts both flag and write-up again, and I can also attach files. I'm quite confident in my solution, so I'm deciding to finish the exam. Now the exam is over and I can see that my flag has been accepted by the system and my write-up will be checked later by the teacher. Alright, now our review of the highlights of Hacking Lab functionality from the student perspective is over. To learn more about Hacking Lab, feel free to check our other videos. And also, of course, I'm inviting you to sign up to our platform and experience it for yourself. Should you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to our support.